Previously, I have used web services that are useful to create videos with ease of mind. It limited playback time length to 5 minutes, so I didn't summarize essential topics how it is argued on. I have cancelled the service and returned using Adobe Apps, so time limit is removed. From now, I would like to introduce more detailed review on each books which my previous review didn't cover. This video is first one that extends previous review in more detailed contents provision. The things are summary of the book. Mihawtegoiche Igwan focuses on specific conceptual terms, how it is applied in systematic ways, how it is evolved around whole context of philosophy of art. The book talks in more focus on the logical argument about the beauty in the beginning. This writing extends the way to more intuitive addition, which helps to readers to understand easier than philosophical argument on analytic manner. The foremost important concept in talking about arts is in most cases started from the topic the concept of beauty. The beauty is originated from what sources? The sources of beauty could be narrowed into two types of it. First source is from the objective in external from subject. The second source is from the subjective internal from subject. The object in this sense is the beauty is from the ratio, shapes, colors in material objects, which means before contemplation, there is already the condition how we can take the concept of beauty. In contrast, when we concern how we take it into meaningfully, how we take it is important, so is respectful for subjectivity, such as when we say spectacular. The singer is singing well, or it is more than physical ratio, and so on. The two types of beauty is tied to the concept of beauty in deepest level. In classical sense, beauty is concerned with some kind of artist's duty, such as mythological paintings in classicism. The beauty is what we can think it is from objectivity, from what we learn from external object. In this sense, Pythagoras' sense, even in ancient Greek era, the ratio of the object is concerned seriously. The thing in sculptures and paintings, the concerning is how we can do mimesis, and from this we can perceive things to the beauty. So, Kant has emphasized disinterested theory of art is concerned. The beauty is often considerate as virtue of life. When we say, his life is so beautiful, we can learn this from objective paintings which bring us how past event is from it. The past event when a son is living life with corruptive mind, he could desire to change his life's tragedy. When someone gave him with love and respect as Tolstoy's way, when the son has seen classical painting that depicts returning son to his dad, it is disinterested concentration to artwork, which did not stray from his personal will to be negation. The beauty of life is in the material object, namely painting, and disinterested means we can focus on the virtuous lesson from the painting, not any sense of taking demand in other profit about it. The subjective aspect of the beauty is sometimes related with aesthetic experiences. The aesthetic experiences can think when we see artwork, we initialize the view with perceiving the surface from artwork, but we also have intuition that we have more deeper sense of taking artwork, sometimes lessons from it, or some other times, we learn differently with other contemplators. For example, we can learn Son's resurrection is like Jesus' love, or we can learn otherwise that we do not want to let religious stuff. We can think more of this. When we do critique home assignment about classical painting, we do cognitive aspect of the artwork. Is this not included in disinterested theory? So, modern analytic philosopher Dickie raised questions that even something could be strayed into interested understanding. We need to extend the narrow definition of art experiences to let it included that other than disinterested part of understanding to how we have experiences of artwork. That is central part of concernings how aesthetic experience is possible. Dickie's view is not restrictive to virtuous view on artworks. He concerns that our knowings about artwork could be cognitive inclusion. For example, critique of artwork cannot be included in Kant's ways. The traditional view would be gotten together in the British tradition of theory of tastes, which means we have object as how it is crafted with technique, while we interpret it with tasteful of personal aspect too. The taste in philosophical sense is not only appetite sense, it means how we feel about objects from personal preferences. In art world, Both include subject and object in the dimension of artwork and its art experiential nature. The concept of beauty extended into non-beauty too. When we see Bacon's spooky painting, what we feel about it is not beautiful but certain impact and lessons on life. This is also topic relating art object and art experiences, Kant and his contemporaries called aesthetic experiences. This concept of aesthetic experience is also important foundation of talking about artwork, which also enables us the preservation of uniqueness on the personal view about artwork. In this context, what is most fundamental conceptions are 1. Beauty, 2. Aesthetic attitude, 3. Aesthetic object, 4. Aesthetic value, 5. Aesthetic experiences, 6. And historical changes arriving these views. The book Miyage Munja Bangbup, the second volume of 3-volume series Mihaftiga, explains conceptual schemes about these things deeper ways by introducing things like sublime in Kantian view, definition of art, ontological meaning as artwork itself, musical Platonism, art appreciation, critique of art evaluation, representation, form, expression, fictional art, symbol, metaphor, forms of style, sentiment and emotions, make-believe in artwork, creativity and genius, art intuition, genius and craftsmanship, nature and art for art, aesthetic fiction, play, art and science, art and knowledge, and so on, with neutral way of composition focusing more on conceptual delineation, which is also part of modern philosophy of art. The part 1 is about conceptual schemes in these topics. The part 2 is about methodologies about art theories. Heidegger, Derrida, Merleau-Ponty, Ingarden, Barthes, Eco, Goodman, Lukács, Benjamin, Bloch, Adorno, Riegel, Wolflin, Panofsky, Gadamer, Ricoeur, Psychology of Art, Pragmatic Art Theory, and so on. Entire book is complete set of concept and individual philosopher's view, and neutral way of composition really helpful to any readers learning about art theory. I would like to introduce the argumentation in this book by some more videos for deeper way of concerning the topic. The duration of video length is not limited now.